Hey guys, good morning. Flamengo greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. If you just arrived, please follow, like, and share on all platforms on YouTube. Subscribe, turn on notifications, hit the bell, and like the video. You can also get this jersey now. Black Diamonds, official Sunday, and help Flamengo and also help our channel right here. YouTube shopping on Shopee, Flamengo from Shopee, that's right. They can't handle it, man. Check it out. The new jersey too, right? The white jersey, Flamengo will play with it this Sunday. This one, the long sleeve too, man. Zico's jersey, right? From Brasileiro. There's Feruza. There are several jerseys you can find. Besides the watch, man, a spectacular watch from the Tetra, from the Libertadores. You can find all of this here on YouTube shopping. We're coming here with sponsorship from Caravana, Arudo, and also Mais Cabello. And I want to tell you that we had an exclusive conversation with José Boto, right? The football director of Flamengo, the technical football director of Flamengo. He spoke with our reporter, Gabriel Orfon. I told Orfon to ask him some interesting questions. He didn't answer much, but about the provocation, right? From Palmeiras, from Abel, all this stuff they keep saying about Flamengo. They don't stop talking about Flamengo, he responded. He was firm, right? José Boto, who was there. My reporters were also there covering the Superliga, the semifinal of the Women's Superliga. The Flamengo girls managed to tie the game. They were losing 2-0, took it to the tiebreak, and were winning 11-8. They got hit by a late comeback, and Flamengo was eliminated, but these girls did great, and José Boto was there, right? So we're bringing this exclusive coverage to you. We're still going to talk about the transfer market. We're going to talk about a lot of things here with you. There's a lot of important stuff for us to bring. After Pelhado talked about the issue of Luis Henrique, that Flamengo gave up after Zenit asked for a high amount, right? 50 million euros to sign Luis Henrique. José Boto answered us about that. He didn't want to go into too many details, Kitty, but he talked about the issue of Abel Ferreira's accusations, about this whole thing of rallying the Palmeiras fans. Then he talked about all of this, right? After Flamengo beat Vitória and they complained, and Palmeiras had a huge benefit. 3 plays in the Palmeiras game and nobody says anything, right? So let's follow José Boto directly from the Women's Super League final.
Can we? Real quick. José Boto, Flamengo's technical director of football, came here today to watch the CESC Flamengo match. Unfortunately, the result wasn't what Flamengo wanted, but how was the experience for you being here at the volleyball game?
It was a shame. The result was a shame, but it was a great emotional match, and it's a shame it ended that way because they deserved it too, but it was a good game.
Now, Boto, talking a little about football.
We know.
Man, there have been some reports about Flamengo possibly being interested in Luis Henrique. Today they said Zenit is asking for too much. What's the situation right now?
I don't know what to say about this, and I'm not going to discuss it now. We're here for volleyball, so let's not talk about soccer.
What about Palmeiras?
Not even about Palmeiras. No, but what happened with Palmeiras?
Yesterday there were some controversial plays. The Jacuipense player came off making a let's go gesture.
I'll tell you something. In Portugal, we have a characteristic that's even reflected in our song, which is fado, which is a lot of crying. It's characteristic of the Portuguese, okay?
Yeah, Boto has been doing really well, man. He's been doing really well, and he even puts himself in the middle of it because he talks about the Portuguese and he's Portuguese, right? He talks about Abel. He makes it clear that he's talking about Abel, responding to Abel, and he puts himself in the middle of it. The Portuguese have this thing, they cry a lot, right? Man, that's spectacular because now Abel can't say it's xenophobia. He can't say anything. He can't complain about anything. And really, there's a lot of whining, right? Boto has also complained at times, but Abel is going way overboard. They only talk about Flamengo, only think about Flamengo. And now I'm going to bring up some transfer news. But first, I want to mention something else. All this whining, this whole situation, what it's causing, because they and some other clubs too are complaining so much about Flamengo that I just don't believe in coincidences. The CBF assigned, look at the refereeing team the CBF assigned. Man, this is a shame. It's absurd, okay? Yeah, it's exactly the referee who sent off Carrascal in the Super Cup after I don't know how long. He waited until the second half to send off Carrascal. Rafael Rodrigo Klein, right? He's the one who's going to referee. Rafael Rodrigo Klein will officiate the match between Flamengo and Atlético Mineiro this Sunday. In other words, him again. Him again. That's what they want, right? They must be happy. But Flamengo will win against everything and everyone, my friends. It's going to be against everything. Abel Ferreira, the real against everything and everyone, is Flamengo's. You're copying something we've said in so many situations, and I'm going to prove it right here, right now. This referee has already caused harm. It's questionable. That sending off, that completely unusual sending off he had, right, in the Super Cup, and he's already harmed Flamengo in so many other matches. He's the one on Sunday, and we're watching, right, this whole situation. You guys are putting pressure on them, but we're 50 million strong, and we won't accept this either. You called on the Palmeiras media. I'm calling here on the fans, the real nation, the red and black fans, the red and black faithful, to support Flamengo and to hold these guys accountable, to keep an eye on them, to complain and to take a stand. Because all of us, except for a few, are giants, okay? So the CBF has already assigned him, and I don't believe in coincidences. To me, they're giving in to the pressure from those guys. They know this guy always harms Flamengo, right? So we're bringing you some important situations here, okay? And I laid out the difference here just so you can get an idea. A huge difference between Flamengo and Palmeiras, right? Because he asked us for the truth to come out, right? Abel, you wanted the truth, so the truth is going to come out, okay? The truth is about to come out right here, right now. Considering only the Brasileirão, Flamengo and Palmeiras show clear differences on the field, especially in terms of discipline and game rhythm. Palmeiras commits more fouls than Flamengo, 6th versus 11th. Palmeiras ranks 6th in fouls committed, while Flamengo is 11th. They also commit more fouls in their own half. Palmeiras is 4th. Flamengo is 17th in fouls in their own half, meaning Flamengo doesn't commit that many fouls. When it comes to yellow cards, Flamengo is in 10th place and Palmeiras is in 14th. I wonder why that is, huh? Palmeiras commits more fouls than Flamengo, much more than Flamengo. Flamengo commits fewer fouls and Flamengo gets more yellow cards. That's crazy, huh? That's crazy. It's weird, right? Palmeiras is in 14th place and Flamengo is in 10th, in the 10th position with the most yellow cards. That's strange, huh, guys? When it comes to send-offs, the gap gets even wider. Flamengo has the most send-offs. Flamengo has the most send-offs. Did you want them to have 3 more send-offs? Is that right? Do you want to keep doing this? Aren't you already satisfied that Flamengo is the team with the most send-offs? While Palmeiras is only 15th, those guys foul as much as they want. Mourinho did what he did and wasn't sent off. Huh? In send-offs for misconduct, Flamengo is also 2nd and Palmeiras is 11th. Do you guys understand? In penalties conceded, Flamengo is in 6th place. Flamengo is the 6th team to concede the most penalties, meaning the 6 most penalties have been awarded against them. How many penalties do you think Palmeiras has conceded? Tell me. Palmeiras is in 20th place. It's last in penalties awarded against them, meaning they still haven't had a single penalty awarded against them. Guys, when it comes to ball and play time, Flamengo stands out. Out of the 5 matches with the most time in play, 3 are Flamengo's. Look at that. Flamengo is good for football. Yeah. In the top 10, there are 5 Flamengo matches, while Palmeiras doesn't appear even once. Palmeiras doesn't let the game flow. The referees who officiate Palmeiras matches, the ones they love to praise so much, defend Ramon Abate-Abel and break up the game the whole time. There's no game. That's Palmeiras' style of play. Flamengo's games are the ones where the ball is in play more. On average, Flamengo is 1st and Palmeiras is 10th, just so you get the idea. Yeah. Look, when it comes to cards for opponents, Flamengo is in 10th or 12th place. In yellow cards, they're 12th, and in red cards, they're 10th. In other words, in games against Flamengo, Flamengo's opponents receive few cards, both yellow and red. Flamengo is 12th in yellow cards and 10th in red cards. In other words, they're in the middle of the table, maybe a bit lower, 12th, when it comes to rivals getting red cards. And what about Palmeiras, huh? They're the third team whose rivals receive the most yellow cards. And the fourth whose rivals get sent off the most. Are you guys getting all of this, man? It's shameful, man. The numbers show Flamengo being more present in games with the ball in play and Palmeiras committing more fouls, but ending up with fewer players sent off. And with their rivals being sent off. So all of this, my friends, is absurd. It's shameful. I made a point of bringing these numbers here because Flamengo is always getting screwed over, and these guys try to create these absurd narratives. It's a lot of whining, just like Boto said, and we have to complain and we have to fight back, okay? I'm bringing you some transfer market news, and then we'll talk about Jorginho possibly getting another chance with Flamengo. Look, Atletico de Madrid has started negotiations with Wolverhampton to sign João Gomes. So, Flamengo, which could have been a destination for João Gomes, like I told you, Wolverhampton was going to sell João Gomes. Well, Atletico de Madrid has already started negotiations with Wolverhampton to sign our homegrown talent. They even had a deal lined up with Edison from Atalanta, but the talks stalled between the clubs. With that, the Spaniards changed course, and now their main target is our pitbull, João Gomes. The English club values the midfielder at about £40 million, which is a lot. Flamengo probably wouldn't pay that, right? Even more than Paquetá. Pounds, as you know, are worth much more than euros. That's about 269 million reais, okay? So, it's completely out of the question. And Atletico de Madrid is now looking to sign João Gomes. We mentioned here that he has this dream of coming back to Brazil, but I told you it wouldn't be now. I see it happening in the future, maybe 5 or 6 years from now, but right now I don't see João Gomes coming back to Brazilian football, okay? Let me talk about Rian Roberto's situation. Man, we got an important update here with a source connected to Flamengo's board, and the situation is not easy. The situation with the contract renewal, Flazuero and Flabasse reported that Flamengo paid 1.5 million reais to buy another 20% of the player's rights and now holds 70%, but his contract ends in March 2027. So Flamengo would only have a bigger share in that solidarity mechanism in the future. Or if he is transferred before the end of the contract, Flamengo gets a bigger share. But the thing is, he's very unlikely to renew his contract. Could there be a twist? There always could be. It's football. Yeah, jogador, player, coach, Flamengo comes up with an interesting project, presents a better offer, but the situation is not easy. The athlete doesn't want to renew, according to this source close to the board. A sporting project and a professional level salary were offered. He didn't even want to negotiate. They've already received an offer from Shakhtar, this person told me. They've already had contact there. Negotiations are already happening, for all we know. Signing with Shakhtar, and we're even considering filing a complaint with FIFA. A board source said Flamengo even thought about filing a FIFA complaint. Because he couldn't sign with anyone yet, only 6 months before the end, not now. So the situation is tough. Tá? A source linked to the board said the athlete doesn't want to renew, making the deal tough. That's why Flamengo is acting to protect itself and secure something, even if it's later. So it's very sad, such a talented homegrown player, to lose Rian Roberto. I've always praised him. It's going to be very sad. Look, let me bring you some important information here. Jorginho could be a starter. According to Renan Moura, the journalist Renan Moura, Jorginho could be a starter against Atlético Mineiro. That's what everything indicates, according to the journalist. The midfielder has recovered from a calf injury and is expected to feature in midfield at Arena Gonzalo Plata. Tá? At Arena Galo Cego. But as for Flamengo's absentees, Flamengo still won't have Pulgar, Carrascal, and Lucas Paquetá. Is that right? Those guys are still recovering from injury, swelling, and everything else, and Carrascal is suspended. But Jorginho, according to Renan Moura, has a great chance of starting in the starting lineup. He will be very important, especially at this moment with so many midfield players unable to play, either due to injury, swelling, or suspension. So Jorginho's return is going to be very important. And of course, with Everton Araujo, who is in great form and has even attracted interest from Real Madrid, Flamengo might have to make an adjustment, something like that. Hold on to him in every way possible. Flamengo doesn't want to lose Everton Araujo, a very important player who is developing. I told you, maybe one of the biggest talents to come out of Flamengo's youth academy recently. That's it. I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below, turn on notifications by clicking the bell, and leave a like on the video. Greetings, Jubileros. This is Flamengo. Thanks, Flamengo.